Thank you and welcome back to the final segment of the show for today. We're talking to Dr. Glover, the president of Tennessee State University, and she's given us some information in reference to her background, education, and some of her experiences coming to Tennessee State University. And now she's going to talk about some of the challenges and some of the opportunities that she has in terms of meeting some of those challenges and opportunities. Dr. Glover, let's pick up where we left off before we head our second commercial break.
I was telling you how pleased and just appreciative I am to the Nashville community for being so receptive and so supportive of the endeavors of TSU. We put together a 5-point plan to increase our graduation rates for our students. That's our #1 priority now, is to make sure that our students receive the support and the opportunity to graduate. Students have a right to graduate. So we are putting in procedures and implementing various activities to ensure retention, and so that students will have the opportunity to graduate. Because the new model now is not the number of students that you have. Of course, that's important because tuition revenue is always important, but the number of students who graduate, now funding is based on students who graduate. It's performance based now. So that's very, very important. And then we're looking also at fundraising and making partnership with the business community. We've made about 100 partnerships over the last year, and some have resulted in financial resources, some other resources. We have anonymous contributions that have come in. So we have really been hitting that ground running, beating the bushes to meet the corporate community, to partner with them, to show them that we have the students. Our partnership is based on students and the expertise of our faculty, and hopefully that you will respond with sponsorships and partnerships with us. So that's been a fun fun game for us for a year now.
And so that's quite a bit of activity that you've become involved in terms of fundraising. I think I heard you say at one time that you really almost have to support Tennessee State University from private money as well as state money, because you don't receive as much money, you think, as a matter of fact, none of our institutions, I think that has always been the charge, not charge, but one of the challenges that presidents have had to face.
Absolutely. Most people are surprised when they hear that we receive less than 1/3 of our funding from the state of Tennessee. And the rest, because of tuition revenue, government grants, private funds, but we find a way to raise the funds to keep the school going. But it's largely tuition driven. So the base, the out-of-state fees, the in-state fees, all that makes for our entire budget.
Now, in terms of the kind of assistance that, because I've had a number of individuals on this show from Tennessee State University, and they've talked about the kind of assistance that they are able to receive through grants and some of the things that have happened dealing with the national administration in terms of opening up funds. Has Tennessee State University received any of those funds in reference to that?
Well, we write a lot of grants, and yes, to date, I would say we received almost $40 million in funding from the federal government, federal and state government, largely federal. And we spent a lot of time on the Hill in DC, talking to the various agencies, agriculture, treasury, health. We're talking to them, partnering with them to present the new programs that we have, the flagship programs, and the expertise of the faculty and staff, so that they will feel comfortable partnering with us and know that if they do bring us on as one of their partners, and they can sleep at night knowing that we'll get the job done.
I think one thing that is noticeable, that there are a number of buildings that are going up on the campus at Tennessee State University. Why don't you make some statements in reference to all of that activity that's happening in the agricultural area and some of those other buildings, that big, fine athletic facility that you've got there. Why don't you make some statements?
We have a new, that was the athletics building, the indoor-outdoor facility, practice facility. We also we're going to have a ribbon cutting probably next month, well, probably April. This is still February, and the new agricultural building that was just finished. So that was funded by USDA. So we're really proud of that, and we're looking at some more buildings down the road. A new nursing building. This is, as oddly enough, or thankfully enough, this is TSU's time on the funding cycle. It comes around every 9 or 10 years. So this is the year that TSU receives funding. So we're on the schedule this, probably end up being next year, but we're looking at a new nursing facility and perhaps another part of our education building to house a new STEM program, an education STEM program where we train teachers to teach students about math and science in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. So we're really excited about that.
That STEM program, I've heard a lot about that program, and engineering and all of all these other activities, and the idea is to increase the number of graduates in these areas?
We want to, the whole STEM initiative across the country is to increase the number of African American graduates in the sciences and technology and engineering and math, because that number is woefully low. And with the added emphasis from the President Obama on down to the high schools, we're trying to emphasize the STEM areas to get the analytical thinking, the strategic thinking, the thought processes to help as we increase our national scores on exams. Tennessee recently was rated the most improved state in K through 12. So that was very, very impressive and very phenomenal for Tennessee, and we were pleased to quote that statistic everywhere. But we're looking at how can we as TSU help to improve the education status of our state and of course our country, because there's an educational crisis across the country, there's no secret. So we believe teaching STEM and math early, or training teachers on how to teach math and science very early, it's one of the ways to assist us, and then going to a common core curriculum where those standards will assist us in getting our students what they need as far as developing the types of the knowledge and the skill set, the basis they will need to know. So we're excited about some of the new paradigms that's coming about in education, K through 12, that will feed into higher education.
You know, there's one question that I always raise whenever we have a person from Tennessee State University, and that has to do with the lottery funds. Are you receiving any of that lottery money from the state?
Well,
I mean, from the lottery?
No, none to speak of.
You're not receiving enough of it, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're receiving any of it. I mean, it's not enough to speak of and make a point about.
Very good. Well, I can certainly appreciate that. So in a real sense, you're sort of optimistic in terms of the possibilities that that you face in terms of bringing more resources.
Oh, it's unimaginable. We made so many partnerships, and we're talking to more companies by becoming engaged and understanding what TSU offers, and especially in the Nashville and Davidson County area, because TSU belongs to all of us. It belongs to Nashville, it belongs to the state of Tennessee, it belongs to you and me, it belongs to all of us. So we're selling TSU to the community, that we're no longer this university that's on the hill in North Nashville. We're out there meeting the needs of the business community. What the business community needs from Tennessee State is to be a fine academic partner and produce ready-to-employ graduates, and that's what we're striving to do. And
you've got a nationally known education school program and engineering program and nursing program and et cetera, and so you're really ready to move forward.
And that's true. When people say, what is your flagship program? I know I have to brag and say they're all flagships. I mean, the engineering, health sciences, agriculture, business, liberal arts. There are so many flagships until it's difficult to say that you can single out one or two.
And so you're really excited, Dr. Glover.
I'm excited. The alumni. I'm so excited about the excitement that's around me. I'm going to visit many of the alumni chapters, and that excitement is rubbed off. I gave them a challenge to meet a $50,000 challenge, and some have already met that challenge. Others are striving hard to do it. They're having fundraisers because we're raising money through the Alumni Association.
And so you're really actively involved in terms of moving Tennessee State University forward in terms of trying to find the resources and bring the students in and serve a real a need for the state of Tennessee. Is that
that's the entire idea. That's exactly what we're trying to do. That's our ultimate goal.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
And of course, let me thank you for coming by and giving us that information. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.